The Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel has written one of the definitive books about Sabbath, and he calls the Sabbath a cathedral in time. And we are here on the grounds of Washington National Cathedral here in Washington, D.C., where that metaphor becomes very real for me. But when we think about a cathedral in time is not built with bricks, mortar, stained glass. It's built out of minutes and hours. It's built over a lifetime. And we're here in one of the busiest cities in the entire world. We're here on the grounds of the cathedral. I can hear cars rushing by. In Washington, it's not unusual for people to honk at each other in those cars. There are buses loading and unloading. There are leaf blowers. There are lawn mowers. And yet when you walk inside that cathedral, everything changes. You walk in and it takes a minute for your eyes to adjust. Your pace slows down. Your breathing slows just a little bit, and you can wander. You can behold the beauties of this place. When my family and I began a Sabbath practice, I had this idea that once we started Sabbath, we would enter into that practice, that space, and all of our worries, all of our anxieties would just melt away. And we would be bathed in this kind of holy light and holy space. And it just doesn't work that way. Even in this beautiful cathedral, I'm still thinking about the things I need to be doing. I'm still thinking about people I'm worried about or concerned for. Those things don't go away, but when you're in that cathedral, those worries and those anxieties take on a totally different character. You're in a structure that's reliable. You're in a structure that's sturdy enough to hold all of those anxieties and worries and concerns, and they take on a different character. And they don't become this thing that nags and gnaws at us. The structure is strong enough to hold all of that. And we think about physical cathedrals as these really permanent places. Many of them are centuries old, and the National Cathedral is about 100 years old. But they're always changing. Our own cathedral was damaged about 2 years ago from an earthquake, and so there's scaffolding behind me right now where they are working on the tower to repair it. There's always change going on in the cathedral. People come in and volunteers put out fresh flowers. And pilgrims and wanderers and tourists come in and light a candle and say a prayer. The place is changing all the time, just like our Sabbath is always changing. And so my question for you is, what kind of cathedral in time are you building with your life, with your Sabbath practice? How are you building a foundation, a cathedral in time with the way that you live and the way that you rest and the way that you play?